Hello everybody, my name is Haley B. Wheeler, or HB, or Haley, depending on how well you know me. You might call me something else completely different in the back of your mind, depending on your opinion. But this is my YouTube channel and this is my first video and I'm so excited to be starting this. In fact, I'm so excited that my nose is running. Oh man, this is a great start, isn't it? Anyway, hi everybody. I am here because I have gotten so many requests on Instagram to start a YouTube channel for makeup, for life, for advice, for what have you. This is what I'm starting with, and I asked you guys on my Instagram, and if you don't follow me on my Instagram, hi, I'm an annoying person on Instagram, and that is at Haley B. Wheeler. For the first few times I recorded this, I was writing the other way, and I realized that would be backwards to you. I need to work on this whole perspective issue, but nonetheless, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. I post somewhat better content. I think it'll be better anyway. And I asked my followers currently to slide me some questions that I would hopefully answer. And this is going to be a Q&A video, which I figured would be a good way to start out. So I'm going to get my trusty cellular device and we are going to get started. And I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'm a sign language minor, so it's something I do now. Okay? Good. I'm gonna get my phone now, instead of being weird. I've got my phone and I'm gonna pull up my questions. I've picked about probably 5 or 6, give or take. I wasn't really keeping track. I got so many good questions, but if I could sit here for 2 hours and make a YouTube video, I would. But that's apparently not something that a lot of YouTubers like, and a lot of people who watch like, so. I picked a few, and here we go, we're gonna get started. The first question comes from Summer Mangum, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, I'm really trying. But it's, how do you get your teeth so white? With the amount of coffee that I drink, because I think 75% of my blood content is coffee or some sort of caffeinated thing, I wouldn't think that my teeth would be white. Really, I just follow what the dentist tells me to do, and that's brush my teeth twice a day. I almost said twice a week, that's really raunchy. Twice a day, and I floss my teeth once a day. And believe it or not, they make whitening floss. It's like one of the coolest creations ever, because oftentimes what really makes the teeth look dingy is the gum line, because a lot of times we miss our gum line. So I use this whitening floss and it really gets into those nicks and crannies in my teeth. And now that I'm talking about this, I'm gonna lick my teeth a lot more. So thanks, Summer Mangum, for your question. So basically, I just brush with Crest 3D White toothpaste in the Diamond White, and I floss with whitening floss, and really that's about all I do. I don't know, I guess I just got lucky. I always told myself I wanted to have Johnny Depp white teeth, so, you know, like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you know what I'm talking about. His teeth are literally... That's my goal right there, so I'm coming for you, Johnny Depp. The next question, oh, there's so many good ones, comes from Ashlyn Blakeman. And she says, how long have you been cheering? And recently I hung up my cheer shoes, I hung up my infinities, and decided it was time to focus on my career path of speech pathology and finishing my minor, because I'm going to be taking 18 to 21 credit hours for the rest of my school career and doing clinicals and managing this stuff now. So I'm going to have a busy life, but I cheered from the moment I was 6 until the age of 19. So that's 13 years, and that's a big portion of my life. It kept me athletic, it taught me a lot of things about how to work in a team and how to build social skills, because getting in front of a crowd and doing things like making all these silly faces, you know, like facials, going through the vowels with facials, that alone gave me a lot of confidence and an ability to, like, you know, hold a conversation with people and to be peppy constantly. It gives me this energy that I don't think will ever go away. I was really sad to give it up, but it's allowed me to focus more on myself, my mental health, my physical health, getting in the gym, doing these videos, and doing PR things, doing photo shoots, which is so fun. But looking back, cheer really did help me to grow as a person, and I'm glad you asked this question, Ashlyn. Thank you. The next question comes from Shelby with 3 Ys, .Lynn, and she asks, have you ever had acne, and if so, what did you use to help it? When I was really little in like elementary school, I discovered I had very sensitive skin. My skin broke out in this like alligatory feeling, scaly allergic reaction. I don't know what it was to. I've never had an allergy test, so I don't really know what I'm allergic to. but I know I have very sensitive skin. So like whenever I would eat too many acidic things, whenever I would get around a bunch of pets, whenever I'd be outside and I wouldn't wash my face like immediately after coming inside, my skin would just break out. And it was when I would use new makeup, when I started using makeup in about middle school, which is really young, but still. I would just break out really easily. And it wasn't like acne per se because it wasn't super persistent, but it would last for like a week or so and it would be really itchy, really painful. And I went to a dermatologist. Like, that's my ultimate suggestion is if you have a lot of skincare questions that don't seem to be getting answered by random people on Instagram, go to a dermatologist because chances are they'll give you something, prescription, or they'll tell you something you didn't even know. Like, I started taking allergy pills like Zyrtec and Claritin, and they actually did help to clear up my skin because my allergies are very bad and my skin breaks out, and that's just a side effect of my allergies. And that helps a lot. And I also have a prescription topical cream called clindamycin, and just about anybody can get it. It really does help balance the pH of my skin, and it has an antibiotic in it as well. So that antibiotic really helps to get down inside the pores and clean out any problem areas. I also use a lot of really good cleansers that are gentle on the skin. I really like Clean and Clear. If you're at the drugstore, they have a cream cleanser, and they also have an exfoliating one that has cooling in it. It comes in like an indigo greenish bottle. I'll see if I can link it in the description. But I use that, and I use a lot of Henrikson now. They've just started sending me things, and it's freaking fantastic. I use their African Red Tea Cleanser, and I also use their Double Cleanser in the pink bottle. It's just amazing. It makes my skin feel baby smooth, and it's luminous. So I don't really struggle with that, but I do take very good care of my skin because the best way to keep acne from coming is to use preventative skincare. We have got another question from Reba Page, and she says, what keeps your faith strong during hard and difficult times? If you follow me on Instagram for long enough, you guys know I do love me some Jesus. JC, he saved my soul when I was 7 years old, and I got a little pink Bible when it happened. It's like this beautiful baby pink color, and I've been obsessed ever since. My faith can get shaken sometimes, especially since I'm a perfectionist, and when things don't go my way, it seems to be like one of the most unacceptable moments in my life whatsoever. So what keeps my faith strong actually is quoting myself a verse whenever I'm in times that are scary or trying, and that verse is Esther 4:14. And that verse, the context is that Esther has recently gone from just a normal layman in her town to the queen. Yeah, she just became a queen overnight. The king fell in love with her beauty and her heart, and he decided to marry her. And in those days, a lot of the times the king didn't really pay much attention to the queen. She was kind of just like, you know, there. And he would pay more attention to his right-hand man. And in this case, the king's right-hand man is very evil, and he wants to annihilate all of the Jewish population. I cannot talk. The king's right-hand man chooses to eliminate the Jewish people. And Esther herself, along with her entire family that populates the area that she serves, is Jewish. And she knows that if she doesn't say something to the king, that she and her entire family could be executed, and she is so afraid. She's very afraid, and she's in this position of power, and she doesn't really know how to utilize this power, so she prays to God about it, because in those days, if you went to the king unannounced, you could be executed, even if you were the queen. Like, that's crazy, and it's scary. And even in this moment of fear, she prayed and asked God for guidance. And soon after she met her cousin's name is Mordecai. He basically told her that he knows about the king's right-hand man's plans, and that if the king signs off on this plan, that Esther knows what will happen, and they'll all be dead. And he wants her to do something about it because she's in this position of power, and she can. She just has to go about it focusing on God and the strength that he gives her. So he says, my child, perhaps this is the moment for which you were created. And that to me just resonated when I read that verse. And I grew up watching the VeggieTales Esther all the time, but this wasn't something that really resonated with me until now. And when I reached adulthood, and a lot of things started to scare me that I didn't really know about as a kid. And I hear this verse, and now I say it to myself whenever I go into a time that could be scary. Because maybe if you go into everything thinking that this is the moment you're created for, it'll keep your faith stronger and won't make you so scared to face new situations and to go on and do things that may take a leap of faith in your life. Because as long as you realize that you have a purpose and you're here to serve that purpose ultimately, God will use you in the right way, and He will never misguide you. So I use that verse to keep my faith strong in times that are hard. So thank you so much for asking that question. I'm sorry to get off on that tangent there, but I just love talking about this. I'm sorry guys, my nose is just running. I don't know what to do about it. I'm trying to tilt my face. Okay, the last question is from Riley Warner, and she says, how have you been able to become such a public figure from such a small town? I honestly wish I had a clear-cut answer for this. I just have a lot of loyal followers that really are more into my life than I am, but it kind of propels me to go further and be a better role model for people. I think that's what kind of pushed me to this point anyway, is that I always strive to be a role model. So everything that I posted, I was kind of making that point to be a role model and to continue on, because there's always going to be someone out there that is looking at you from some angle. And you have to make sure that in every angle of your life you're doing something that is beneficial to the greater good. And I think that's what really, I don't want to say sets me apart because that sounds bad, but for lack of a better term, I think that's what sets me apart from a lot of people that are on Instagram, is that I don't really try to put up a facade. I try to be as real with you guys as I can. And I think authenticity is ultimately what pushes people to the top. A lot of people think it's making a certain aesthetic on Instagram or posting all the same things. And really, my life is such a hodgepodge of just scatterbrained mess. And you guys live for it. I don't really get it, but you do. And it's just kind of paying attention to the voice within yourself and knowing what you like, posting what you like, and being unapologetic about it. Being authentically yourself is what makes you a public figure. That's what makes you a good public figure anyway. I really don't know how or why I have the following that I do, but I'm grateful that I do, and it's allowing me to start things like this that I've always seen and watched, all these people who are gurus and YouTube experts, and I was just like, oh, I'll never do that. I don't have that following. People don't like me that much. But it's people like you that have followed me and keep me pushing towards my dreams, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity to do things like this, and to start this YouTube channel is just something that makes me so happy. I really don't think that the town that you come from, or race, or sexuality, or the way that you look, the way that you feel, I don't think any of that can keep you from being a public figure. It's so surreal to me that people actually want to know about my life, because I'm kind of boring, I think. But you don't have to be from a giant city. You don't have to be a model to be a public figure. You just have to be yourself. That's ultimately what you have to do. That was a little rambling, sorry. But I guess that this is the end of this video, so I'm really grateful to you guys for following me for this long and staying tuned this long. I'm so sorry it took me so long to do this, but in light of the new year, I hope that everybody has a wonderful 2018. Make it the best year ever. And I will do more videos for you guys in the near future. Thank you so much for watching, and hit that little subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you haven't, follow me on my Instagram at Haley B. Wheeler. My Twitter is the same. And hopefully I will see you guys very soon. Bye!